Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel. And because there was no coffee stream this afternoon, we are doing a live blind reaction. And what we are going to do is we're going to finish wait. Oh, sorry. We are going to take a look at what's going on with the rest of Molly Burke's video. Now, I covered a 3-minute clip of this video yesterday in Coffee Shots. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch the rest of the video. The first 8 minutes are her basically rambling about basically health issues that are, they're not blindness related. They're her health issues that I don't know anything about, and I don't need to be speaking on that. But so we're gonna start at the 11-minute mark, basically where I left off in my clip. And before we do that, let's see who's in chat. Hello to Spittlebuggies. Hello to W.R. Costin. Hello, Gunfox. He says, so get the popcorn and soda and watch me lose my mind. Yes, exactly. Hello, Lord Famine. Hello. Let's see. Who else is here? Let's see. Also, before we go any further, we are still using the blindpress.net domain. So if you we're just not going to use the Slobs software when the new computer comes. We're just going to use the regular OBS, but we still have the blindpress.net tipping page up. We are, I think, moving the store over to Stream Elements, like the merch store. So yeah. Hey you. I'm good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly go through Molly's video, and then we've got a little bit of a message for a smaller YouTuber who thinks that he has a leg to stand on. So we're gonna get to a little bit of a message for him after we finish with Molly. It's gonna be a busy night, and then Blind Press After Dark will happen. So yeah, busy night. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So we're leaving. We're where we left off yesterday. Molly was having a revelation that not all blind people are like her. Isn't that amazing? It's not like we other blind people have been trying to tell her this forever. But I guess you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, as they say. So here we are. Let's continue on. We have another 13 minutes of this video to go because it's a 24-minute video.
Blind people struggle as much with their health as I do. And again, it's now that I see that, it's naive that I ever thought that. But I think in ways it's almost forced me to have to do more self-acceptance. I felt frustrated once again with my body and myself for not being stronger, not being physically stronger to not develop illnesses or imbalances, not being stronger mentally, to like not be able to have to develop mental illnesses. And I know that's
Okay, so, but Molly, you're you're acting like the blind people that you have watched on TikTok don't have any of these struggles that you are talking about. And had you done like any interaction with Sadie the blind lady, for example, who has several health issues besides blindness, had you continued a relationship with Lucy Edwards, you would understand that she struggles with mental health issues. Had you talked to people like can't see from Britain as well, she went blind due to stroke issues and still struggles with mental health issues. And like, if had you bothered to interact with us instead of consuming our content and then assuming that we don't struggle with mental health issues, that we don't also have other illnesses that we deal with. Like, this is all things that you're assuming. Like, you're watching our content about how we cope with stuff, and if you actually were watching our content, like, by following us instead of it popping up on your For You page, this is how I can tell you're not actually consuming our content. Because if you were, you were actually following some of the blind people on TikTok that you've just mentioned that you were watching, you would know a lot of us actually do struggle with a lot of the same things you do. Not like specifically the same health issues that you do, but we still struggle with other things other than blindness. And if you took the time to, I don't know, do some actual digging with, and it wouldn't take you that long either, you would find out that, again, you're still being naive. You're still assuming that we don't struggle with other things than blindness. And you are putting yourself in the place of the victim again, because you're like, oh, poor me, I'm not as strong as these other blind people. No. Again, no, you're missing the point. Again. Because you won't talk to any of us.
That's so stupid to say. Like, we don't choose to develop mental illness. Like, it's just some of us have that brain, We don't choose to develop physical illnesses. Some of us just have those bodies. But I think for so much of my life, I was just like, oh, it's because I'm blind. And now I've realized it's not necessarily because of that. It's just because of who I am. And, like, even my boyfriend says, he's like, look, I might also be blind, but like, you have dealt with far more trauma, far more medical trauma, far more health issues, far greater bullying than I ever experienced. Like, it's fair that like your health isn't as in the same position as mine, or other people in our community. But
there are lots of people in our community that have health issues besides blind. What are you talking about? In all seriousness and with all kindness behind it, what the hell are you talking about? There are lots of people in the blind community that struggle with many other physical and mental problems. I don't understand why you feel the need to put yourself up on this, like, and it's weird. Sometimes it's a glowing happy pedestal, and then other times it's a cross. But you still have to make yourself either a martyr or a symbol. And you're neither. I'm sorry, you're just a person. You're just a person.
But it has just forced me to continue my self-love and acceptance journey and be like, okay, Molly, like, sure, other blind people don't necessarily go through these issues, but some do. Some don't, but some do. You just happen to be one of those people who does have extra issues with your health, both physically and mentally, and that's okay. Like,
Yes.
you can learn to still love and accept yourself, and you don't have to be hard on yourself or compare yourself to the blind people who have better energy or don't have dizziness and vertigo or don't have other physical ailments. It's funny, I get a lot of people say to me, like, I have XYZ, but I don't feel like I can own the word disabled because I don't feel disabled enough. And my response is always like, if you are disabled in any way, you can own the word disabled. You don't have to be as disabled.
Just, oh, okay. What is with this owning of words? Words are not... GoFundMe to buy Molly a clue. Well done, Wiki. Oh my god. That's amazing, Wiki. I just, even when she's making and having these revelations, she's still missing the point. And my point, and a lot of the blind community's point who have a problem with Molly, is if she would just come down a peg and talk to other people that don't necessarily have the reach she does, she would gain more experience. Molly's big problem is she does like to make connections with people, but only if they're in her, like, league or her echelon of a particular place. And it's very detrimental to her, and you can see as she's going on in life and learning these things that most of us learned when we were teenagers because we had to fall on our asses and pick ourselves back up. We didn't have, and this is not a blind thing. This is just a life thing. I think a lot of us had to fall on our asses and get back up on our own. We didn't have parents that, like, we may have had good loving parents. Like, I had parents that did the best for me that they could, but they didn't rush to fight my battles for me, if you know what I'm trying to say. And it really feels like as she goes on and gets older, she's starting to learn the lessons as an almost 30-year-old that she should have learned about 15 years ago. And yeah, it's going to be harder for her because she should know this stuff by now. To be blunt. She should know that not every blind person experiences blindness like her. She should know that some blind people have more health issues than blindness and some don't. This shouldn't be something, unless you're brand new to this, which she isn't. This is not, well, and even if you're brand new to blindness, as an adult, you should know that there are different types of people that experience different types of illness, even within a specific community.
As somebody else, to still be disabled. You know, it's a spectrum. It's a vastly diverse community, an extremely wide spectrum. And you don't have to be on the furthest end to own disability.
But
you can be at the beginning stages of the spectrum and still own disability and be accepted as a part of this community and find people who understand you. But not everybody will. I'll never forget years ago in my early 20s when I was working as a motivational speaker full-time for this company. One of the other motivational speakers was also disabled, and they said to me, I was sick when we were on tour, and they said to me, "You're always sick. You should really work on that." And I was so hurt because...
Why?
To me, we've spent years working on it, haven't we, Mom?
Yeah. Okay, but this is... I don't understand how you can be a public speaker, a motivational speaker, and a public figure with almost 2 million subscribers on a platform, about 700 and something thousand on another. People are dumb. People say stupid shit. Coworkers say stupid shit. Yes, you've spent years working on it. That person was a moron. It's okay to be hurt by it, but like, you don't... So hurt is, you know, just people suck. That's all it is. People suck. You've got to honestly walk it off.
From the time I was so young, we spent money and time and energy onto finding foods that didn't upset my stomach and gave me energy, and taking supplements and seeing all sorts of different specialists to build up my body to being as strong and healthy as it could and fighting things off.
And you're very lucky that your parents could afford to do all of that for you. Because there are a lot of disabled kids whose parents love them to death and would die for them and would do anything they could for them, but just do not have the money. Because they just don't. You are an incredibly lucky person, Molly. And it's I don't know how to explain this to you without sounding just nasty, but you need to understand that you were an incredibly lucky girl, that your parents could afford to do all this for you. Like, it was a struggle when before I went to the doctor for my mental health issues as a teenager. My mom was trying, you know, the St. John's wort and all that, the melatonin capsules, from the health food store. And they like to charge a lot of money for that shit. And my stepdad had just left. And my mother was working her ass off with being a single mom with 2 kids. And it was, you know, it was not easy for her to go out and buy those supplements for me. And it was a small thing, but it was not like, it wasn't an easy thing. Like, those are expensive. And if I had needed like extra dietary stuff, or, you know, mom would have done what she could, but, you know, there are just some parents that, despite how much they love their kids, they just can't afford to pay the money for the private clinics and the private, you know, the naturopaths and the osteopaths and the extra dietary, you know, tests and all. Like, I'm glad you got, like, don't get me, people are gonna say that, oh, you're jealous and you're shitting on her. No, it's good that she was able to get that. I hope she understands how lucky she is.
you know, and in hopes of reducing getting other things, um, developing other issues. And I was
One
like,
woman went on Survivor, found out she
to
had
be
an
told,
intolerance
like,
to
basically,
gluten.
like, you being sick all the time is your fault when you have put so much effort into it was so hurtful, especially because in my mind, given that this person was also disabled, I felt that they should understand me. And like,
Well, okay. They were a dick. That's very true. They were a dick. But a person who can walk is not going to completely understand what it's like to be paraplegic from the waist down. They're not. They can empathize, but they're not going to understand, right? Just like a person in a wheelchair who can see is not going to understand what it's like to be blind. They can try to empathize the best they can, but they're not going to fully understand you. You can't expect people to understand all of you all the time. I guess she's one of those people who feels like she has to connect with people on her semi-celeb level. I might be able to understand that if she was in movies, etc., but she's not on that level. No. No, she's not.
like I said, I've since now understood, I've since now come to realize that that isn't true. Just like any community, disability community is as diverse as every other community out there. And some people are going to get you, and some people are going to understand you, and some people aren't. And also, even when we have the same disabilities, our experiences are so vastly different that you can't expect everybody to understand you, but you will find people who do.
I think we find way more people that do, like way more.
Absolutely.
People. Way more.
Yeah, you find so many people that do, but like not everybody will, and that's okay.
Okay, now, again, you're almost there, Molly. You're almost there. You're tap dancing. You're tap dancing on the awareness. You're tap dancing on that awareness level. Like, but again, you've taken this whole, like, you kept insisting that you never thought that blind people were all the same, and you've been spending this whole video almost talking about how it's taken you until this year, and you're 27 now. And you also went to the school for the blind for, I believe it was a year, maybe 2. And I know for a fact that the blind people there are blind by different means. They also have blind people that are blind plus, so they have blindness and other disabilities. So I do not understand the lack of awareness and the lack of your ability to put 2 and 2 together until it was convenient for you. Until you started living with your new boyfriend and the pandemic was here, so you had more time. So you started scrolling TikTok more. And hello, TW. And you basically have dipped your toe barely into Blind Talk enough to discover that Blind Talk exists, and but not enough to discover that most of us have other issues, and most of us deal with our other issues in vastly different ways. Like, straight up, Molly, I feel you on the exhaustion. Okay? Like, I could go to bed at 10 o'clock at night and sleep through till 7:30 in the morning and wake up and go, okay, I need more sleep. I get it. Okay? Like, and there are plenty of us that get it. But the thing is that you don't talk to us.
So I don't know. I think I'm just in this weird place where I'm trying to like figure out my own self and having these realizations that I probably should have had years ago, but I didn't, and have only kind of come to my attention being more immersed with a blind person, another blind person on a daily basis who doesn't struggle with these things, and being able to have access to so many more blind people than I ever have before, despite the fact that I've been very immersed in my physical blind community my whole life through TikTok, and being like, oh, like, not all blind people struggle with these things as much as I do. Or
but you haven't you have had access. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. There have been people reaching out to you for years. Like, I've added you on Twitter. There Diana with 2 N's has talked about you. There was a girl, I think it was either Jessica or Gabby, had a school project, and they were a huge fan of yours, and they begged you to come and help them with their project, and you charged the school a speaking fee. Like, there have been blind people trying to do things with you and show you different things for years. Hi, Johnny. It's just so frustrating. I cannot believe how self-unaware you are, and yet you're having all these realizations, but you could have had them had you just accepted and reached out to the people trying to talk to you, instead of shitting on them and calling them haters. Like, when people criticize you, Molly, it's not because they hate you. Like, do you frustrate the hell out of me? Yeah, you do. Because the thing is that I could see it. You have the potential to be like a really nice and like a really nice person. I can see that. You have the, like, I could see it even when you were public speaking with me at those CNIB events when we were kids. Okay? But, like, there's just this disconnect. And it's so frustrating. To what? Ha! I saw you. Yeah, I saw you. Ha ha. But it's just the verge of awareness that you're teetering on and then turning away from. And the fact that so many blind people have offered this awareness and experience to you, and you've just flat out called us all haters and laughed. And now that it's convenient for you, you're like, oh, this is really fascinating. It's like, really?
even necessarily at all. And I always thought like, oh, my vertigo is a direct result of my blindness. And so people will understand when I say I prefer to take baths because I get dizzy and disoriented in my showers. Not everybody gets like crazy vertigo where they...
Yeah, there's a TikTok, like, this is the problem. Is that Molly, and she's, but the thing is that she's not apologizing in this video. What she should be saying is, I was severely unaware and naive about all blind people. being and feeling the same way that I do. And the way that I have worded a lot of my videos has been very generalized based on my bias, right? That's what a responsible content creator would do, especially when she has so many sighted people that learn from her about blindness. But she's not doing that. She's just dancing around that little, like, she's just kind of dancing around the acknowledgement, but she's not taking the full ownership and accountability. Because there is a video that she did on TikTok. I wish I could find it now. It's from last year. I should have saved it. But what she just talked about, where she said, I prefer to take baths instead of showers because I get dizzy. The way that her original video was worded was along the lines of, it's better for blind people to take baths instead of showers because they get dizzy. Now, the way that she said it in today's video would have made a lot more sense. And it's what I try to do on TikTok, or anytime I make content about my blindness on YouTube or TikTok, is I say, this is what I do. I've never said all blind people do this. I try really hard to say, I am blind, this is how I do X. And I will, if I know of some other methods, I will say, I have a few blind friends and they do it this way, or this way, or this way. But I try very hard not to speak in generalized terms for a very important reason. And unfortunately, Molly has let her bias that she admitted to, that she thought blindness was experienced the same, and she has spoken in very general terms. And even in this video, she's not reflecting that. She's not retracting that. Hi, Leonian Universe. Thank you for dropping by, and thank you for the kind words.
I can't stand up sometimes. But I've just come to, have these realizations over this last year, and I think it's just made me have to more critically think about my own self-love and acceptance of my body not being everything I wish it was sometimes.
How about you also be critical of how you present your particular blindness and your particular bias? Because really, I would strongly suggest that you make a clarification video that says, and you could even put a link to this video in your cards or something, and be like, I made a video talking about how I feel about my blindness, and in it I kind of talked about some revelations that I've had that I probably should have had a long time ago, but I had them now. And I know, I figured exactly who you were by the name, Leo. But I would have said, if I were you, I would have done a video doing a clarification saying, in this how I feel about my blindness video, I talked about some revelations that I had, and I think that over the years I've kind of made a lot of my blindness content with that bias that I've realized that I had. And I'm like, to my sighted subscribers, I would strongly encourage you to check out other blind. Now, Molly, would be the best time ever to plaster your page with other blind content creators and be like, these people can help you learn about the experience from other blind people. Like, if you truly mean that you have come to this realization that blind people experience things differently, and you've really, like, if this is really what you've come to realize, then you will forthwith, without any delay, like just any blind content creator that you follow, that you know of, like, chill the shit out of them. Seriously. Otherwise, this is all just crap. It's just crap. I just wish she wouldn't make blind people sound like victims. Leo, I'm with you on that one wholeheartedly. Okay, we're almost done here.
Not comparing it to other people's experience of blindness and being like, well, why isn't my body like theirs? Like, why can't I have higher energy levels or be less affected by not enough sleep? Like, my boyfriend can get like almost no sleep and he's perfectly fully functional. I need way more sleep than the average person just to get through a day. And again, I was always just like in my mind, like, oh, it's because I'm blind. And then I'm like, oh, I'm realizing like, oh, it's not necessarily because of that. It's just because this is who I am, separate from just my blindness.
You mean you're more than just your blindness? Wow! Fantastic!
Other thing that's come to light as I've accepted continuing to lose more vision is I'm realizing that things that were once very natural behaviors are no longer as natural. What I mean by that is when I lost my vision at 14, for many, many, many years, like looking at somebody when they talk to me was my natural instinct. I'm like 13 years into my vision loss journey and I'm only losing more, and I admit it is no longer my natural instinct.
Why? As somebody who has plastic in her head and has had plastic in her head since she was 1, why? Have you lost respect for the people that you speak to because you're losing your vision? Like, that's ugh. That's ridiculous. Why? You can't be bothered to turn your face in the direction of the voice? Hello?
Sorry to interrupt, but why my camera's not on?
Why is the camera not on?
It's not.
It said it was on when I started. Let me check. Can you grab me another drink?
Yep.
Camera, why are you being a douchebag? But yeah, like, there's no reason why you, as a 27-year-old who had still usable vision when you lost your vision and are losing more of your vision now, there's no reason why you should stop looking at people when you speak to them. That makes no sense to me. Okay, it won't turn on. There we go. Yeah, Yeah, there's absolutely no reason. Like, I don't understand that. That makes no sense to me.
My natural, like, I definitely, like, my eyes kind of float around more. I have to put more intentional effort into fixing my eyes at something or someone than I ever have.
Okay, so the way you made it sound was like you just didn't bother to look at them. If you mean keeping your eyeballs trained on people, that's that is harder, and I'll give you that. Hell, I would get less than 2 hours of sleep for a week, and I would get still put in an 8 hour shift. Yep. I don't like that. You might need more sleep than the average person, but don't blame it on the blindness. Yeah. Let's see here. If she didn't she go to the school for the blind for like a year or two? If so, why didn't she realize this stuff then? Well, that's what I've been saying. I don't buy it. Like either she's just that clueless, or it's convenient for her now to talk about how blindness is different for everybody. But either way, she's torpedoing her narrative about, anytime she would acknowledge the criticism that she was getting. I never say that all blind people are the same. I never say blah. Like, you literally thought they were until this year, apparently. So, like I said yesterday in my video, were you lying then or are you lying now? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Okay.
It's weird now that it's a choice. Because before it was never a choice, it was a thing I instinctively did. But like I said, now that I'm further into being blind and not seeing, it's like my brain has finally registered that I'm not seeing and has kind of given up trying to look in the right directions all the time and stuff. And you hear the autism community talk a lot about masking, which is where they kind of mask their autism traits to make able-bodied people feel more comfortable or neurotypical people feel more comfortable. And I'm realizing, like, I'm kind of at that point where I need to make choices every day. Like, do I try to fix my eyes in the right direction or look at people in the right direction to make them feel comfortable about my blindness, even though it takes me more energy to do it?
Are you fucking seriously comparing yourself to an autistic person? Uh, are you, and first of all, my answer to the autistic community that doesn't want to look at people is the same as to the blind people that don't want to look at people. If you want to interact with society, grow up and look at people. It's called respect. It's not called making them feel comfortable with your disability. It's called being respectful. It has nothing to do with whether your body works properly or not. It's respect. If you are, would you, when you're doing your YouTube videos, Molly, now, because you're, going blind and you have a quote choice to look at people, are you going to do your YouTube videos like this now? Because it doesn't matter that you're blind. You don't have to look at the camera. So just, film everything with your back to the camera. You have a choice now, right? You if you do the whole, if you think it's masking and looking at people is to make them comfortable with your blindness, then stop looking at the camera when you do your videos, because you're masking then. Oh, wait. No, that's actually ridiculous, isn't it? Do you see how ridiculous that is?
Or do I just let my eyes do what they want to do? And it's a weird place to be. So that's another part of like my own self-reflection and self-development and self-acceptance, is figuring out, like, is it important to me to look at somebody, and if so, why?
Because it's respectful. Is it important to you to be respectful? Is it important to you to show the person that you're speaking to that you actually care about what they're saying? Because that is why you look at people. That is why you point your face at them. Because it tells them that you are engaged with what they're saying. It has nothing to do with making them feel comfortable with your blindness. It is literally to show the person, yes, I am engaged with what you are saying to me. Like, how did nobody explain this to you? I was 3. I was 3 when my mother explained that to me. She had me looking at people by the time I was 4. And I had no visual perception ever. So, like, what's your excuse?
So I appear more normal?
No! So you're respectful to the people that are talking to you.
But why does that matter?
Oh my God.
So I can make people feel more comfortable? I don't know. It's strange. So yeah, I'm kind of like working through that mentally myself.
Oh my fucking
There's
brain.
still certain things that are very instinctive, like I always.
Yeah, her father is a communications guy. Her father is a marketing and communications guy and nobody fucking taught her that looking at somebody is a sign of respect and a sign of open communication and a sign of that you are receptive to what the person is trying to tell you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Still look at my phone when I'm texting, and
I
honest,
look at
most
my
of that is
phone
because
when
it
I'm
points my ears in
texting.
the direction of the audio that's coming from my phone. It's not because I'm looking at anything, obviously. It's just
Exactly.
because it helps direct my ears to the sound more so than looking straight forward would when I'm texting or something. But yeah, I find particularly when I'm talking with people or I'm at a restaurant.
I do look at my phone when I'm watching videos because I don't think I'm supposed to be blind.
Or I'm meeting somebody, I actually have to instinctively remind myself or tell myself, like, look at them. Whereas that used to be what I naturally instinctively did. So, yeah, I think.
But why does that change? Why is it that all of the totally blind people I've ever met in my life, like born totally blind from birth, no light perception, like, why is it that all of them have figured out that you look at people when you fucking talk to them, but the person who lost the majority of their vision when at 14 but still had enough vision to make eye contact with people, and now that they're losing the remainder of their vision at 27 is like, I don't need to look at people anymore. That whole respect thing. Nah, it's not about respect. It's about, looking normal and making people comfortable with me. This is ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, it is, Leo. Like, what the hell? One of the first things I learned to do when I was. One of the first things I learned to do was look at people when talking to them. Exactly, Leo. Exactly. This is ridiculous. There was a family counselor who pointed out on a TV show that people would talk to their family members with their backs to them and then wondered why people forgot what they said. Good point. I don't look at faces, I look at tits. Oh my god, 20 minutes. Okay.
Things are changing. I'm just continuing my path, and like I said, I think because I'm so positive and optimistic and upbeat, and I've really come a long way with my self-acceptance. I think sometimes I'll get messages from other disabled people and be like, wow, like I just see you as somebody who really has their life all together. And to be honest, I don't. Like, I'm just like anybody else. I'm just trying to figure it all out. I'm just puttering through life, trying to take it day by day.
You don't have your life together. Are you ri- okay. Sure. Sure. You were able to move countries in the middle of the pandemic, got yourself a condo in one of the most expensive provinces in the country, in one of the most expensive cities in the country. Um, you're able to pay to go to a private woman's clinic to take care of some of your health issues. You just got yourself a new dog. You're doing renovations on your condo that you can afford. Um, Compared to a lot of other not disabled people, your life is really together. And compared to a lot of disabled people, your life is like freaking Orphan Annie got picked up and taken to Daddy Warbucks's house. Okay? Like, what? Again, if you took the time to speak to, like, not just read messages from other disabled people, but, like, actually talk to them, like, branch out and meet other people and interact with other people that are not in your immediate circle, like, you would understand just how together your life is. I'm just saying.
And I certainly don't have it all figured out.
No, nobody
And
does.
honestly, I'm scared of the future. I'm terrified of what's ahead because I don't know what my health is going to look like. And that terrifies me. My health has been the best it's been. Moving to LA, my health like drastically improved. And I think it was just from the warm weather. That's the only thing I can conclude is the dry, warm heat helped my health. I think having good health for a few years, at least good health in comparison to how my health my whole life, I was kind of like, okay, maybe I'm out of the woods. And like I said, what I've come to realize is that's not necessarily true. Like, I'm always going to have to work a little harder on my health than maybe the average person is. And my health can always slip again. And that's scary. It's scary to want.
Yes, that's scary for everybody that has health issues, Molly. I get it. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary for everyone. And this is going to be, the last 3 minutes is going to be just her repeating herself. So that's the first little thing that we're going to do. And now I'm going to finish up by saying, Molly, I really hope that you continue to be as critical as you say. But I don't, you need to also open your experiences more. You need to actually speak to people and learn from their experiences by actually interacting. Um, so let's quickly. What? I can't share the short? Are you fucking serious? Alright, I gotta search for it. That sucks. Okay. So now we're going to. No worries, spittle buggies, no worries. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move on to just a quick little message, because I have a feeling that this might end up becoming something of a thing. I have a feeling I might need to take a leaf from the book of Mr. Adonis Paul, because my best friend in real life, my best friend, her ex, who is just special, he has made himself a little YouTube channel, and like every sane absentee father does, who wants to get back, more rights and more access to his kids. What every sane father in that position does, he creates a video threatening to start putting the business of his ex and her new husband on his channel for all of his 56 subscribers to see. And to which I say, sir, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because, first of all, you really don't want to be dragging shit involving your kids and, stuff like that onto YouTube. Like, I don't know if you've been scrolling TikTok and have seen the single parents telling their stories. And I don't know if you've decided that you're going to make up a story so that you can become the victim. But let me just tell you, you were the villain in the story here, and your threats that we're about to look at here in this minute video, first of all, make you look insane, and second of all, anything that you could say is going to be provably false. So I would really like, I'm going to play this short, I'm going to react to it, but I'd really like to just say, don't go down this path. Don't go down this path. This is not something that you are going to succeed at, either on YouTube or in your real life. So really, 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 really think about this, because this is not going to end well for you, sir. We're going to take a look here. I'm going to quickly go and share this, and then we're going to end the stream so I can set up for Blind Press After Dark. I've known this dude since I was 17 years old. Because this is, like I said, this is somebody that my best friend of since 3rd grade was with. I know all of his shenanigans. I know all of the bullshit he's pulled, and I've been witness to some of his bullshit. And I'm not going to talk about that yet. Because I'm going to give him a chance to not be an idiot. So let's take a listen.
David Barry, Dave Rose.
And he's sucking on his teeth. Like,
nice strong teeth.
listen
Need
to
be
this.
whitened. But
Jesus Christ, dude.
why do my step-parents' kids have rotten teeth when I'm sending them money? I know how to brush my teeth. I know how to clean them and whiten them. The more money I send them, the more rotted out their teeth get. What's wrong with that? Well, I'm on ODSP.
ODSP is Ontario Disability Support, by the way. And this is what he chooses to do. Right? This is what a grown-ass man chooses to do. Chooses to put this kind of video up on YouTube. Like, you do not look like the good guy here. You do not look like the guy who's in the right. You look exactly like the person that you are. Somebody who's reaching and grasping and has no leg to stand on.
YouTube videos, and they're working and getting rotten teeth. What's wrong with that, YouTube? Samantha Robdrup?
So yeah, he's putting, like, her name is out there. Her name on her YouTube channel is out there. So that's okay. And I do have permission from her to talk about this, just so you guys know. I do have permission from her to talk about this.
Or sorry, that's not your name anymore because you married Matthew Eckford or Matthew Eckhart. Matthew Eckford, why do you have rotten out teeth when I have nice beautiful teeth and I'm sending you money and you're working and I'm on ODSP? Should I upload that to YouTube? Yeah, I probably should. Much love.
Yeah, that's... So this is what I'm saying to you, sir. Just don't play this game. This is not a game you're going to win. Either, as I said, online or offline. So just have a nap and rethink your strategy here. All right, my friends, I need to end this so that Blind Press After Dark can get set up. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope that you can come by either Twitch or the accounting page. Starting at midnight, Blind Press After Dark will go live gameplay and voice on Twitch, cam on OnlyFans, or the accounting page, whatever you want to call it. And we'll be back for the Star Trek stream tomorrow at 5 p.m. We'll be doing our favorite Mirror Universe iterations, so you won't want to miss that. Thank you all so much for watching. I do apologize there was no coffee stream today, and I hope this makes up for it. Thank you guys, and I'll see ya, whoever comes by on Twitch or whatever, in a bit. Bye!